Well, he got that spirit, like he's ready. Them demons are bearing on his ass, man. You know, that stone, because we ain't gonna stop, man. Hey, you know, Nate is happy, man. Nate should send you some money. All that money making, Nate should send you a check every week, man, because Nate can say, whew, boy, I'm getting the rest, boy. It's the hard man, that dude. And them guys that are with the hard man, they just keep coming, man. They just keep coming. And we're the Rocky Balboa of the spirit world. You know? You don't want to fight, that's not the man. I don't know what this guy say when Rocky 2. He say, you don't want to fight that man. And you say, the trainer of yeah.
Apollo's trainer.
Yep.
He said, I watched you beat that man like I ain't never seen no man get beat before, and he still kept coming at you. We don't need this kind of man in our life.
And that's
let
us.
It go, baby.
Yeah, let it go, man. All right, let it go. Okay. Anyway, we're switching gears. We're going to that article now. I came across, because we always bring up the mark of the beast thing. All right, we always bring that up. Anytime we come across an article about it, we always bring it up, because the mark of the beast prophecy, it's already come to pass. It's not coming to pass. It's already come to pass. It just haven't come to pass on a wide scale. We haven't witnessed or experienced the hour of temptation. That's what the hour. That's why I did that video called the hour of temptation, man. And then pretty much everybody that did a response said the same thing. They said it's a mark of the beast, because that's when you're gonna have to make that decision. All you men that are down with Nate, if you keep following Nate, when they actually implement that mark of the beast thing, man, you're gonna have to make a decision as to what you're gonna do. Yep. All the General Johannes men, you're going to have to make a decision. The fat dude, what we call him, the blimp, the meatball, the big dude, the big round nigga. All right? Well, he's still around. But anyway, you're going to have to make a decision, because you were face to face with me on 34th and 7th, and I mentioned the mark of the beast thing, and he said, that's all you conspiracy nuts. Well, that's what Nate says. That's why we say you guys sold out. And we don't constantly bring that up, man. And anytime we make a video on it, well, every once in a while, Nate does a conspiracy thing. He did this video called Conspiracy Brothers Warning, and it was like a teaser for a longer video, but I saw it, and I had to come back. And guess what? You never made that video. And that's what, going on 3 months? If not 3 months? And every week I remind you when you're going to make that video, man. You ain't going to make that video, because we're going to dissect it like we do all of your other videos, man. But anyway, here's an article right here that I came across. Now look at the date on that article.
Yeah, it says December the 2nd, 2010.
Now look at the time it was put up. This is spiritual.
Oh yeah, December 4:44.
4:44.
Yep.
When it was put up. That's spiritual. Go ahead and read it.
This is from RT website. It says CIA creating real-life Manchurian candidates. A group of U.S. military veterans claim the government messed with their minds, implanted microchips and electrodes, and conducting on mind control experiments. They are alleging top secret CIA, military, and even university scientists experimented on them with the purpose implanting remote control devices in their brains to eventually turn them into robot-like assassins. The members of the group claim the tests were conducted at the Army's Edgewood Arsenal in Maryland between 1950 and 1975. The U.S. military site...
So that technology goes back to the 50s, man, before any of us was even born. That's right.
Yeah. The U.S. military site was known for testing, but mainly for chemical and biological nerve agents. Now the group is suing the U.S. government for answers. Dr. Colin A. Ross, the president and founder of the Colin A. Ross Institute for Psychological Trauma, said there are stories from survivors and there are official government documents regarding the allegations. The documents detail hypnosis, LSD interrogation, and electro-implant experiments. The electro-implant experiments were first conducted on animals, and they controlled via remote transmitters, he explained. Electrodes are put into dolphins, and the dolphins are directed by a remote transmitter to deliver a bomb to a target. There's discussion of similar technology in cats and other animals, Ross said. There is research funded by the Office of Naval Research published in mainstream journals where electrodes are put into the brains of cats, dogs, and their behaviors controlled, and even human beings at Harvard and Yale. So this is an absolutely documented fact.
Because if I may say that, because there's videos out there where they have like these certain electronic like hats, I guess, or helmets that they put on like on animals, on cats and stuff, and then they send a certain signal, electrical signal, to the cat's brain, and it can stimulate anger, it can stimulate fear, you know, it can stimulate all different types of emotions. You know, so that's what they really want to do. They really want a nation or a world of zombies.
Yeah, Esau wants to be the
zombies.
Most High. Yeah, pretty much Esau wants to be the Most High. You know, did not the scripture say, I am like the Most High? So Esau wants to be like the Most High, control people. And then in the book of Psalm 64, it says they accomplish a diligent search. What we're reading here is part of that diligent search, how to control people.
Right, and they've done that through experiments.
Experiments,
you know, that's the diligent search. In other words, they'll sit down, they'll think about something, they'll put it together, and before they can actually put it out there to the majority of the people, they have to experiment on it. First they do it with animals, and then what's the next thing? A human human trial.
People.
You know, people.
Yep. Ross said operators were able to force animals to walk or swim to designated areas. And in humans, control limited actions such as hitting a wall, staring into space, or strumming a guitar. Participants in the testing programs were volunteers. However, most did not truly understand what was going on. The people didn't really know what was going on, Ross said. They were basically tricked. There are probably active Manchurian candidate sleepers thought the world today. He argued, mind control technology has been known about for decades, and there are a range of usable technologies ranging from electrode implants to brainwashing. Ross said he is certain such experiments are ongoing today, but he cannot prove it because it is classified. People can be in a steeper or in a sleeper state indefinitely. But of course, this is all secret and classified, so you cannot actually document it or prove it, he added. Attorney Gordon P. Palmer, who represents the veterans filing suit, said members of the group have alleged that they were given high doses of hallucinogenic drugs, as well as brain implants.
As well as brain implants.
Khan.
That's the chip.
Khan.
Either the right hand or the forehead.
Khan. They tested hundreds and hundreds of different biological substances such as anthrax and chemical substances such as nerve gas, psychochemicals, a whole variety of psychochemicals, said Palmer. They did this all in total secrecy for a period of over 20 years. Now that's that scripture, again, Psalm 64. They accomplish a diligent search. They do it in secrecy. They say, who shall see us? So that's these devils, man. Palmer explained his clients are unable to receive monetary policy because they were voluntary military members at the time of testing. Under the law, veterans cannot seek financial damages against the government under the Ferez Doctrine, which was established in 1950 by the U.S. Supreme Court. The suit is seeking, however, to bring attention to the fact military veterans cannot seek damages from the government, and is also seeking a recognition by the U.S. Army that under their own regulation they must provide medical care and disclose what exactly they were subjected to. It is also a hope the court will release the veterans from their secrecy oath regarding what they endured. However, the case has been a challenging one. There has been a total lack of cooperation from the CIA, he said. The rest of the defendants are not much better. The Army and the Department of Defense have been resisting discover at every moment as well. That's pretty much it. That's it.
Yeah, because that's the New World, basically the pinnacle of the New World Order plan is to chip everybody. Like like Aaron Russo said, that Nick Rockefeller told him. He said the plan is to chip everybody. But now we're going into the aspects of what the chip is really about. It's really about mind control. They're trying to make the masses of this planet zombies. I mean, robot slaves. You know?
Movie Equilibrium and other different movies. Now, in the movie Equilibrium, every day they will have like interval dosages of stuff that they would have to inject into themselves, and that drug that they would inject into themselves basically would keep them under the spell of that whole of the elites of that society. So that's basically what this chip is all about. It's about putting that into you so you can be an eternal slave, and you can be devoted, and you can be a follower and a zombie of the New World Order and the as they call it, oligarchy, which is the rule of a few, over the masses of the people. You have something?
Because Esau basically he's gotten a whole human genome mapped out. He's got the brain especially mapped out. Now, when you look into neuroscience, you have different lobes of the brain. You have the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, the temporalis or the temporal lobe. Now on the frontal lobe, that does like your emotions, your memory, your speech, your motivation. So if they can control that, if they can put that chip right there into your frontal lobe, they can send frequencies or whatever they need to dictate how you move around, man. Control you,
You have this movie now with Johnny Depp, which Johnny Depp is a demon. It's called Transcendence. And in that movie Transcendence, it's all about, there's a term, I can't think of it right now, but they basically, what they did was they were taking a human, they were taking people that were all jacked up and messed up and making them into superhumans, so to speak. There's a term, but I can't think of it right now. So basically that's what they're trying to do. They're really trying to take the masses of people and turn them into robots by any means necessary. Stem cell research. So that's why they take people and they cut them up and they study the biology of the person, their brain, their eyes, their their lungs, everything, so that they can pretty much control people.
I got an article Elder Gabar had brought about a week or so ago. I printed out, brought it with me, about enslavement of the human race with the microchip technology, right? The title of this paragraph says, More Microchipping of Humans. And it says, according to Dr. Kyle, brain functions can also be remotely monitored by supercomputers and even altered through the changing of frequencies.
Okay, you go ahead. Go ahead.
There was a quick point. There was a game that came out, and it's called PsyOps, and it was back in where I used to play it, and it was going into mind control, MK Ultra, and even in the game there was a like on the home menu, the main menu, you could actually watch videos of how they actually researched before they made the game, and it was some true facts that came out, top secret information about how they were actually practicing telekinesis, things like that. So it's actually stuff they practice in the military. But in the game, you know, you had what they call meat puppets. So those are actually meat puppets. So those are.
Get used to me saying that because I'm planning on using that a lot, especially today. I'm gonna call them meat puppets.
Well, that's Baloo. Baloo is the first meat. Baloo.
Yeah. And so those are actually soldiers that they had that used to they could control their mind and get them to do whatever they want to. You know, they can run and then they'll make the men explode. You know, they're just meat puppets. Yeah.
Just to back you up. This is Isaiah 47:10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. And yeah, I'm just going to skip down to 12. This is Isaiah 47, verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitudes of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail.
That's right. Now the brother looked up the word. He mentioned the word enchantments in the verse 12. I just wanted to take a quick look at that because that's what they do. You know, see they enchant the people. They put spells on these people. You know, these people are in a spell. You know, and how do they do that? How did they accomplish that? Through the media, through the news, through the television. You know, through music. You know, through poetry. Through whatever means that they have, that through schools, because what they're doing is they're basically programming the people's minds. So every time you speak about stuff like this, what's the first thing they'll say? Oh, you're a conspiracy nut. Why? Is it because it's something that they researched? No, it's because something they heard on television. Just like when they call somebody a terrorist. They call somebody a terrorist. Why? Because there's something they heard on television, or they seen in a magazine, or they seen in a newspaper somewhere. So now the word enchantment. Bear with me 1 second here. Enchantments is from the word chabar, and it means association, company, band, shared, association, society, a magician, charmer, spell. So it's a spell that these meat puppets have on them.
I got the definition too. This is from the Urban Dictionary. It says meat puppet. Person or persons that have no will of their own.
Sounds like some people I know.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly. Well, you know, they're going to try to flip it. They're going to say that about us, you know. Persons that have no will of their own. Somebody that lets others control them. All right? But I had a scripture, right, for this is the book of Ezekiel 28 and 28 and 6, because basically Esau is trying to be the Most High. That's why he's doing all that bullshit. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, because thou hast set thine heart, or hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Right? Let me go down to the 8th verse. It says, they shall bring thee down to the pit. Beginning with the elites, because it tells us in the book of Isaiah 24, the elites are going to be our first crop of slaves. And they're going to be thrown in a pit. It tells you that in Isaiah, the 24th chapter. So backing that up in Isaiah, the 24th chapter, is Ezekiel 28 and 8. It says, they shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am a God? But thou shalt be a man and no God in the hand of him that slayeth thee, which that's the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, which he's going to use this devil. All right? Yep, go ahead.
I got one. Same verse, same chapter, Ezekiel 28, started 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of the Most High in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not the Most High. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Nothing but a man. That's it.
That's all he is.
all
Now I'm
he
gonna
is.
read this. Oh, good. I'm gonna read this quote. Since you brought up the meat puppet. Now this is what Henry Kissinger said, which now they're trying to say he never said it. This, that, and the other. All right. This is a quote from him, and he said, I forget. I don't know if he said this in the 70s. I forget the exact year or whatever, but that's irrelevant. But this is what he said. Military men are just dumb, stupid animals to be used as pawns in foreign policy. That's why all of your wars, the United States, there's never any foreign military force to come into the United States until the United States join forces with them. But all of your wars are what? You go out to them. You go out to that country. You always say there's a threat, 10,000 miles away. So you go all the way and send all your military men, all your weaponry and so forth, and you send that 10,000 miles away or 15,000 miles away or whatever, and what you do is you go and declare war against that nation. And then, the ironic thing is this. You got these guys that go to the military, right? And they get their legs blown off, both their hands blown off. They got a metal plate in their head. They can't see nothing. And then they'll get interviewed, and they're happy about it, man. Like I was watching that this morning. The guy had both legs literally blown off, no arms. He had like a mechanic. They couldn't do nothing with this arm, but he had like a mechanic arm. And the dude was talking about, he had a smile on his face. I said, what kind? You are ultimate meat puppet.
Meat puppet.
Okay?
I got a precept. This is Jeremiah 49:31. Arise, get you up unto the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, saith the Lord. And that's America, man. This is a nation full of meat puppets. And the witchcraft has even worked on Israelite groups. You got guys pushing that a man of the Lord has to be well groomed, his garment has to be ironed, you have to be a family guy. All of that is that witchcraft from the so-called white man. And these guys are trying to push that on Israel, man. So this whole nation is full of meat puppets, man.
And let me just say one thing real quick. Now, I remember back during the time of the Vietnam conflict, they had to declare, do what's called a conscription act, which is declare a draft. Now, why did they have to declare a draft? Because they knew that there was going to be people that was not going to go willingly and voluntarily into that war. Anytime they have a draft, all right, they did it during the time of Lincoln. All right. Anytime they declare a draft, it's because they know that the masses of the people are not with that war. So you have to force them to go fight in that war. All right. Now, if you notice, going back since the 90s, when Bush Sr. went into Iraq, and there was it was a skirmish over there. They were there for maybe like 6 months or whatever. But then his son came along, and he declared war against Iraq and Afghanistan. And the war in Afghanistan is still going on, the conflict. And that's the longest war in the history of wars based upon America fighting another nation. And in Iraq, they were down there for a number of years. Since what, 2003? And they just got out maybe what, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, or something like that. And they're still in Afghanistan. They're getting ready to go into Nigeria. All right. But if you notice, they don't have to declare a draft because you people, the American people of this generation are ultimate meat puppets. They already know. They said, well, don't worry, we don't have to have a draft. You got nothing but meat puppets. And we're going to push that word, man. I'm going to do a topic on that, Lord willing, call it the meat dirge for the meat puppet.
The meat puppet manifesto.
Yeah, because, well, that's by way of the media too, man. You look at the TV shows and the GMO foods. These young teenagers now that's growing up are complete retards, man. And they believe whatever they're told, man. Like even Bruce Lee saying, you believe what you are told. Hey, Bruce thought about stuff, man. You can't just believe anything.
If I may, brother, hey, Bruce Lee is a thinker, man. There's the website called Quotes of Bruce Lee. Some of those quotes is bad as hell, man.
Because he's a Jake.
Yeah.
Now, Isaiah, don't make a video on that, because you said it on the comment board.
Yep.
You said somebody asked you.
Yep.
Whether you thought Bruce Lee was a Israelite, and you say yes, I believe Bruce Lee is an Israelite.
That's right. That's what you said.
Now I wonder if Baloo believes that Bruce Lee is an Israelite.
Right. Yeah.
Well, first of all, and I'm gonna say this. Being that we ain't gonna get all into that, but I'm just gonna throw this out there. Being that you mentioned Shaq, you a piece of shit, you bald-head fuck. Because basically, man, you was in our camp, you was in GMS. It wasn't called GMS when we had the school in Connecticut, right? And then you left the school and used to work at that factory right across the street from the school. We used to wear the shower cap on your head and riding on your bike going back to school, back to work. And then you got arrested in Bridgeport, Connecticut for statutory rape. Do Nate know that, man? Do all these people out here on YouTube land know that?
Well, there's a statute of limitations, so I guess he passed that.
Yeah.
Nate checked him out and said, "Oh, you passed the statute of limitation."
But the fact remains that you are a convicted rapist, child molester.
But
man.
more importantly, he's a meat puppet.
He's a meat puppet. So Shaq, I'm putting it out there. That dude Shaq, he is a goddamn convicted sex offender, man. He got arrested and he did some time. How long did they have him in there for? Maybe
I don't know. Probably a couple of years.
he did like a year or two. Statutory rape.
But he repented of that.
Yeah, he repented.
He repented.
Hey, Shakia, man, you tried to come on Yashawamba page and talk shit. Man, shut down, man. You don't know the scriptures. Yashawamba will tear your ass up with the scriptures, man. And Amashaba had you running, calling yourself a hypocrite. You didn't want to go back and forth and really get to the truth of the matter when we came out there because you don't know the scriptures.
Yeah, because the first thing he said was, he knew who y'all were. He knew who y'all were down with, and he said, "Did y'all bring your pencil and paper? Like you coming to learn?
Get the hell out of here.
Like Tahar and the GMS, we left them. We come to learn under y'all." And then he tried to get physical, man. He said, "If you want to take it on a physical level." Now you know we coming with the brothers came with Bibles in their hand, man, and they were talking to you, man. They ain't had no baseball bat or no guns or nothing like that. And then you talking about you want, and then you know what you guys are. Nate got you meat puppets, all right. He got you guys thinking he got you guys thinking like you part of an actual army, and like you're a physical army and shit, man. You know. You're not even, there's nothing spiritual about Nate, man. Nate did the same thing, and Nate is he's stubborner than a goddamn mule, man. Because he was stubborn back then.
Yep.
When you put him in a power seat, man, a position of power and authority, it goes to his head, man. It goes to his head. And we can see that, man.
Oh, yeah. And Nate, man.
You said that, hey, Nate, come out and make a video and tell me that you got 100% knowledge. Because you said, you don't have 100% knowledge. Nobody has 100% knowledge. Well, then how can you tell us? Maybe the Most High didn't give you the breakdown the mark of the beast. Maybe that's the 20% that you don't have. Have you ever questioned that? This is coming from guys that say they have 100% knowledge.
Yep. That's right. You guys don't know the scriptures, man. You small in the Bible. Okay, you ain't got it, man. You ain't got it, and Shaq, like all the time said, you gonna tell the brothers, you want to take it to a physical level. Shaq, man, since when you become a tough guy, man? You a clown, man.
No, because it was only three of y'all. It was two. Yeah. Then there was the third. Then Ariala came, and then how many of them was out there? 7 or 8 guys. So that's why he got on the physical level.
Yeah.
Because if he was out there by himself, he wouldn't have said that.
Well, hell no.
See, them guys, that's why the Most High gonna break that thing down, man. Okay? Most High gonna break all that up, man. Because what you're going about it the wrong way, man. You're not being spiritual. You're not being spiritual.
Yep.
And I'm telling you right now, man, the Most High gonna break that thing up. Now, mind you, the Most High, I believe, gonna take some of them guys out of there, and the Most High may very well be of the elect. We don't know that. I can't judge that, man.
Yep.
If they're sincere men of the Lord, they're gonna come out of that, man. But I see that a lot of those guys are just proud jakes, man. There's something that they saw, and it's something to get into, man. And they memorize scriptures, but really don't understand the scriptures, man.
Parrots.
And it's evident on the comment board, man. When we go head to head with you guys always give up, man.
Yeah, man. Shock, yeah, you a tough guy. When I jumped up and grabbed your ass and threw you out to school physically because you couldn't break down Jeremiah 14 and 2, you ain't say that then, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to say this too. And I run into you a few times, man, back in the days before this whole YouTube thing, and you never came off like that. I ran into you several times in different Home Depots. You know, you greeted me pleasant. I greeted you pleasant. We talked and everything. You know, you didn't come off with that tough guy spirit. Where the hell did that come from?
I got a precept concerning the 100% truth with GMS. This is 1 John 2 and 20. But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things.
Hey, can you read that again?
1 John 2 and 20. But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things.
But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things. 100% truth. That means we got everything. That means we got the full truth. What the fuck are you guys talking about, man? I know. Y'all don't got it. That's why. So you know what? In a way, we can't get mad at these guys. They right. Look, we ain't got it because y'all don't got it. We do. We got the 100% truth. Now, other things, whatever we don't know, the Lord going to reveal. That's going to come when Yahushua come back. If there's other higher things that the Most High going to reveal to us.
We're talking about the scriptures.
We're talking about the scriptures,
all right?
Yeah, we ain't talking about other.
Right, we ain't talking about other things. We're talking about the scriptures,
That's
all
right. We know the Bible. We know the whole Bible. See, that's what these guys trying to delve into. What about the other deep spiritual galaxy knowledge?
We don't know that because the Most High didn't give it to us. And we ain't never said that, man.
Yeah.
We ain't never said that. We said the scriptures when it comes to the scriptures.
Yeah, that's right. Whenever they talk about that with the Yahushua, with the Pharisees, with I don't want to misquote it. Yahushua, the Pharisees go along to this deep knowledge and outer space knowledge, but they can't. The smallest things they don't carry out, as far as being a brother or being righteous. The law, straining the king. Yeah. Yeah, cunt. You guys, man. Yeah. Well, they just do that just to get at us, because we said we got 100. We do. We know the whole scriptures, man. Okay, and we know the Hebrew, the history, the Greek. We go into all that, man. Dudes, Elder Gabar said this earlier in this lesson. He said, Baloo, Isaiah, and them guys. Well, no, Isaiah, you just mad because you failed the test. And I want to say this about Isaiah. You talking all this shit, man. You popping all this style, man. You couldn't even break down the 12 tribes, man. And it wasn't even all 12. Just six. Six of the 12 tribes. Their names, their meanings. That was on the test, by the way.
And how to say it in the Hebrew.
But you're so
How
deep.
hard is that?
Yeah.
How hard is that? I got this one scripture backing up what the brother said about the 100% truth, right? It says, and this is the reason why, Nate, you could have the 100% truth if you did something, man. If you had the key. The one key. Malachi 3 and 16. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another. And that's what we do. And the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. See? If you called on the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you might start up in your game when it came to the scriptures. to break them down properly, my man.
I got a quick precept. This is Hebrews chapter 6, verse 10. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed towards his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. And you guys are just mad, and that's the reason why you're not compelled to continue forth, man. Because you forgot the name. You turned your back on the Most High power. Okay? And shock y'all, man. You said that the Most High put his word above his name because he didn't want a Hebrew doctrine. That was the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life, man. And you sat up there and defended that and then ran and said, well, I'll just have to be a hypocrite.
Why does he have a Hebrew name? Yeah. Why does all those guys have Hebrew names?
Right. Yep.
I know their mama didn't give them names, man.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. He said, how you gonna call on the name the name of the Lord in the Hebrew? Well, how do you say it?
When we speak English.
When we speak English. Does that make sense? But wait a minute. Your name is Nathaniel. Okay? You got Shaka. You got Yawasap. That don't sound American to me. You got Asaph. You got Kanai. All them guys got Hebrew names. You cursed out guys. Well, this Muslim guy came out and he I think his name was Abdul or something, or whatever his name was. And he said, "Well, you got to change that. Yeah. Change it to what? To Bob?"
Yep. Y'all a bunch of hypocrites and fakers, man. And it's coming out more and more and more. Okay, that the Most High is not dealing with y'all. This is Hebrews 6 and 11, and we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope until the end. And so that we got to go out on the highways and the byways. We're going to talk about the chip. We're going to talk about the prophecies. We're going to break down words in the Hebrew, in the Greek, and get the full understanding, man. Okay? With the full assurance and hope that we might be saved. Okay?
This is Baruch 2. Start at Baruch 2 and 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. So if we was once, it said remember themselves. So we was lost. We didn't know who we was, right? So in this land now, we're going to wake up to that name. Yeah. And to elders who go lead, that's going to have an unction to know all things and prophesy in part. Then it says, and shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I give them an ear and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name.
Did you hear that, Nate?
In the land of their captivity.
Yeah.
And think upon my name. What's that? Christ?
It ain't talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about the new Babylon.
And it ain't talking about those Latin and Greek and English names that are translations of the actual Lashwan Kodash for the name of the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Which is an abomination. Hey, because that name Christ, that's a Greek title. And the Jews had a saying, part of our history, it was better to eat pork than to speak Greek. So here it is, you calling the Most High name in Greek. That's just total insult, man. That was a saying among our people. It was better to eat pork than to speak Greek. And that's why the Jews in Jerusalem hated the Israelite foreigners so much. The reason is because they spoke Greek. Like Titus. Titus spoke Greek. Timothy spoke Greek. You know, they didn't speak the holy tongue. And here it is, the Lord have brought us back to the holy tongue, and you got a problem with that. Most High gonna kick your black ass, Nate. I'm telling you, man.
Everything is so ridiculous and unimaginable to you guys. How the hell did we get over here on cargo slave ships? That was unimaginable, wasn't it? That just a small group of Edomites could come over and conquer our nation and relegate us to the most horrible oppression in the history of the world. So with the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, anything is possible. Of course we can learn the name of the Heavenly Father. What the hell is wrong with you? What are you talking about? All right, of course.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, brother. And then these assholes, man, they say, well, show me in the law where it says you have to know the name of the Most High in the Hebrew. First of all, do you guys believe that America is Babylon the Great? Where the fuck is America in the Bible? What does it say America in the Bible? America is Babylon the Great.
Where's the missiles in the Bible? Where does it say ICBM in the Bible?
When they say that shit, it's like they know they're being wicked,
It's
man.
an excuse. It's an excuse. You mean to tell me if I sit here all day, the Lord can't save me? You mean to tell me? You just trying to run laps around the scriptures because you don't want to do it, and that's why you don't like the truth, because there's too many rules and obligations and stuff you got to do. You got to be involved. You got to put this over your family. All right, yeah, you're a bunch of meat puppets, man. You don't want to do it, man.
Well, he said that he put his word above his name. Well, let's read something that's in the word. Let's read something that's in the word. This is the prologue of Sirach, and I'm going to just read a little bit. Because they always talk about the word, the scriptures. Well, let's read something that's in the scriptures that our forefathers left for us. It says, for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language.
Hey, but you know it's ironic. There's videos of him. Yahweh sitting next to him where he said, give me that Ben Yehudi, meaning the English, Hebrew, English Ben Yehudi dictionary. And he have said the name of the Father, and he have said the name of his Son, and he had used, Nate has used certain words. Okay? Let me just read this. I'm going to let you read your scripture. This is St. John 14:26. And this is Yahweh Shai speaking. Not Christ, but Yahweh Shai. But the Comforter, we're not talking about that big, fat, black greasy jelly roll in Harlem. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance whatsoever I have said unto you. What is he doing in essence? He's establishing the tabernacle of David. He's going to bring the tabernacle of David back in order as in the days of old. What language did the tabernacle of David speak? Hebrew. Okay, they didn't speak Arabic or Pig Latin. They spoke Hebrew, man.
I got a scripture. This is 2 Timothy 2:4. Now, no man that worth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. All right? And if a man also strive for the mastery, yet he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. That's right, which is this knowledge, which goes back into the first fruits, right? Consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things. You see? You see this? You can read on. There's more fruit in there. I mean, more meat in there. Remember that Yahweh Shai of the seed of David, there you go, that cuts that immaculate conception crap, was raised from the dead according to my gospel, wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds. Right?
Yeah, they look at us as evildoers.
That's right.
We suffer trouble. Yeah, we suffer trouble as... No, that's all right. We suffer trouble as an evildoer because they look at us as being evildoers.
Yeah. That's right. So that means the men of the Lord... Yeah, because the videos that Isaiah is making in Baloo, they making us sound like we were straight up demons, man. Right? Consider what I say, right? And the Lord, Yahweh Shai, give thee understanding in all things. Meaning we know everything. Yes, we do. The scriptures, according
What's
to the
another
scriptures.
word for all? 100%. 100%.
Right?
So why would Nate make a statement, you don't have 100%? Why would he make a statement like that, man?
Yeah. That's right. He said it. Look at that. The evildoer, wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds. But the word of the Most High is not bound. Right? Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake. For the man. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sakes, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Yahweh Shai with eternal glory. There it is right there, Nate. That's Second Timothy. That's 2 Timothy is the 2nd chapter. Read it, Nate, Johanna, all you guys. We got to save Israel, black people. The black woman, I'm gonna fix her. Right?
Yeah, Johanna, you need to show. Well, anyway, you shut up anyway. Dr. Ali Muhammad shut your ass down. That's why you don't want to do the debate. All that shit you were talking up in Harlem, guess what? No debate, man. Because Dr. Ali Muhammad kept calling your black ass out, man. And they're finding out that you are full of shit. You're a blow. Like we said, you're a blowhard, man. And it's evident now. All that shit you were talking, man. And I said, this guy ain't going to debate. All that shit you were talking, man. And Dr. Ali Muhammad is a nobody, man. He ain't nobody. He a little guy, man.
Hey, Johanna, you want to step out in the alley with Dr. Ali? Step out in the alley, you chump. Hey, that's an old joke. Cut. Yeah. I got a scripture. It's in Jeremiah 6:16. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths." So if you ask for the old paths, we weren't speaking no English in the old paths, man. We weren't speaking no Greek either. We were speaking Hebrew. All right, if you go back to the old paths. All right?
The way everything's going to be established now, when the Lord sets everything up, it's going to go back to the way it was in the ancient world.
The old paths.
You're right, the old paths. So how in the hell we not going to learn our language?
That's right. That's
you guys are fucking idiots, man.
No, they're meat puppets.
No, he's not an idiot. Nate is not an idiot. Nate has been paid off to do that, man. But them guys that are under him are all meat puppets.
They're all meat puppets. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. So anybody that has sense, they're going to ask for the old paths. All right, and if you go into the old paths, you're going to be speaking the Hebrew, okay? Where's the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. What's an example of that? Well, we don't want to get in that Hebrew. We can't make the Hebrew a doctrine.
We don't want to go out on the highways and byways. And another thing, there's that whole, I don't want to go out. We don't have to go out and teach. If you notice, Johanna hasn't been out there in about 7-8 months. And if you notice also, Nate hasn't been out there. The last time he was out there was the last time I spoke to him on the phone, remember? Yeah. And I said, he said, me and you got to get together and iron this thing out. And I said, you know where to see me. You know where I'm at, right? And I'm on 34th and 7. He said, well, no. That's how he said, no. I got to be, this is almost your exact words. I got to be out there in the Queen's camp. That's right. I got to be out there every week, every Saturday. Well, ever since you said that to me on the phone, you might have been out there maybe once or twice. I haven't seen you out there. Check the video. You know that chick. Check the video. Hey, check the videos of Nate and see if he's been out there all this month. Go to any of his IUIC sites pages and see if he's been out there, man. You ain't gonna see him out there, man. Now he might start going out there since I'm speaking on it, man. But check the last month, he wasn't out there. Check 2 months ago, he wasn't out there. 3 months ago, he wasn't out there. 4, 5, 6, maybe once or twice in 6 months. So he don't even go out no more. And that's part of the word too. Yeah. Going out, but your men go out there. So can your men jump up and say, well, I don't feel I have to go out there. Well, no, you have to go out there. And they say, well, Nate, you don't go out. Scripture you're going to pull. You mean if you do X amount of years, you don't got to go out no more? It said, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. And you guys can't see it because you're meat puppets, man.
This is Ephesians 4:1. I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. It's basically doing the work, man.
Calling.
It means a calling, because you called into this thing to do the work. That's what that word vocation means when you look it up in the Greek.
That's right.
Yeah, we're going to look it up, Nate. The word there is klasis in the Greek. It says a calling. Calling to, a call, invitation to a feast of the divine invitation to embrace the salvation of the Heavenly Father. And you got to do that on the streets.
Yep.
Because Yahweh Shai said to go, because the master of the house was upset, according to the parable. Oh, okay. Well, you got it. No, you got it.
I think that's what's that, Matthew the 12th chapter?
Yeah, and the thing about it, see, when you go out there, did they go inside the house when they blew the trumpet? They were outside blowing the trumpet. So right now, spiritually, we're blowing the trumpet how? By going out there in the highways and byways. That's what the scriptures say, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Because a trumpet is what? An alarm of war. It's the sound of a warning that the enemy is coming, and for the people to gather and get prepared so that they can be protected from the enemy.
And the enemy wants to chip you.
Right. Right, like Elder Gabar said, the enemy wants to chip you.
So what do you do when you know that? You tell the people. Right. You blow that trumpet. That the mark of the beast is a chip.
That's right. That's right. You got it, brother?
Let me see that one. Yeah, he got it precept.
Second Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. That's that trumpet being blown. What they're warning the people about prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Yep, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, it's the 22nd chapter.
22nd and St. Matthew chapter 22 verse 1. And Yahushua answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage.
Yeah, there's this table with all this righteous meat on it, and wine. The real stuff, the real good wine. Mm-hmm. You have your dinner, your lamb. It's all roasted perfectly. You got your gravy. You got grapes and pineapples and bananas and all. GMO. And no GMOs. Everything is all here, prepared, hot and ready. Steam coming off of it. And here it is, we've bidden, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we've bidden those people out there that are part of the elect to come and eat the food. And you bid the other people too to come and eat the food. Why? Because when they don't come, what happens? They're going to be judged.
Right. Verse 5. But they made light of it and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully, and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies, and destroyed those murderers, and burnt up their city. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore unto the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So you got these wannabe elders of Israel who didn't put any work forth, don't have no fruit globally, just talking shit, mad because the elders are producing fruit because they went out to the highways and did what you wouldn't do, man. You were bidden to the marriage. You're supposed to eat of all this stuff, and you wanted to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, and you know what? That's Baloo. He's the main guy. Baloo,
Baloo,
yep.
Nate, Johanna.
Yeah.
All right.
Because Baloo,
Comfy.
Yep, Comfy.
He ain't going. You're not. He's not even heard of anymore.
He ain't going out there speaking, man.
Like everybody agrees. Well, even they said that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's a devil.
Yeah.
Johanna. Oh, he's a devil. He's
Yeah.
a devil.
Yeah. He said that. See, them guys, they was back there. Johanna, you was in the truth years ago. You had the camps going on in One West. You fell off, went in the world. So did you, Nate. So did you, Baloo. You was in the One West, right? And then you fell off, and then all of a sudden you made this reemergence with Zabak and them guys. You were trying to go out there speaking, but you ain't really produced no fruit. And what are you doing now? You making the videos, I want to give their fish to leave. All you doing is going around trying to build upon another man's foundation. You getting scragglers from GMS, misfits from GMS, and trying to get them to follow you. Because you mad, like the brother said. You jealous, man.
Yep, Matthew 22, verse 10. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he said unto
That's
him,
Isaiah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know the spotlight that was on in them tests.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't prepared.
He didn't have his garment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He ain't got nothing now.
And he took it all away, and he's going to take it away even more. All right? And you watching a person literally being overcome with demons in front of your face. Right?
That's the transforming of that being a righteous man, or the semblance of a righteous man, that downward a spiral of demons engulfing you and breaking you down, man, and mentally fucking your head up, man.
Mm-hmm.
You watch him about 2 months, man. He gonna be all messed up, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're spiritually withering away.
Yep.
Because who did you decide to get with? Wendy Williams.
Yep. Like Yoda had told he told the council, they was talking about Anakin Skywalker. He said there's a lot of fear in him. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to the dark side. And you watch this guy, man, because he was too bitch made to continue on in the work, man. He was scared of the test, of the outcome, how he would look amongst his peers.
Easy test.
Yep.
Easy test.
And it led to anger and hate. Then led him to the dark side.
Let me give you an example. Okay, this is one of the leaders of Texas, the Dallas, Texas camp. All right, his name is Ariala, and he was at the Passover, and he was sitting right behind me, and I asked him to break down. I said, how do you break down the tribe of Judah? The Hebrew, and what does it mean? He broke it down. Then I think I threw Issachar. He broke it down without blinking an eye. I think I asked him like 3 or 4 tribes to break down. He broke them down with no problem, man. So what's your problem? What's your excuse?
You know what that means? I'm gonna give it right to you, Gabar. That means that you wouldn't have made it in One West, because you wouldn't have had no rank in One West, because you wouldn't have been able to pass them tests. Because when we're going back to One West, when you came into the school back then, I'm talking about back in the early 90s, One West 125th, which that's the school myself, from Elder to Gabar, we came up in the original school. When you came into school, you was going to the classes. Then it got to a point where you was ready to join one of the camps. Because different brothers that were called generals back then had Elder Tahar. He was one of the generals back then. He had a camp. General Johanna, he was back there. He had a camp. Johanna Ba, he had his own camp. Then you had the Brooklyn camp. Yashawan and Barak, they had a camp. The list goes on and on. Bunayar, he had his own camp. There were different camp leaders or generals. Rob Karab and different jokers, right? Yeah, right. But anyways, when you first came in there, well, it depended on the general. Certain generals, the rule was you had to pass I'm sorry, let me not get ahead of myself. There were 3 tests that you were required to take in the school. It was a mandatory. You had to take the soldier's test. The first one was called the soldier's test. right? And you took that test, and when you passed the soldier's test, then you had rank. You became a soldier. Prior to that, you were just what they called a member. There wasn't even before that trooper shit. Lahab brought that in later on. You just a trooper. You were called when I came in. You're just a member. You're a member of the school, but you're not a ranking member. I mean, you're just like you're a nobody, pretty much. Well, once you pass the soldier's test, that was a rank. It was the lowest rank, right? You was a soldier.
I was proud of that rank, man. When I
me
said,
too.
man, I can actually call myself a soldier,
Yeah,
man.
me too, brother.
I was proud of that, man.
Yeah, I was proud of that. A little rank, boy. When I became a soldier, I thought I was an officer. You pass the soldier's test, then the next test is the officer of 50 test or captain of 50's test. Then when you really pass that one, then you really feeling yourself, man. Because now you're an officer. You have a little bit more rank. You're an officer. You're a little higher echelons now. Then the third test was an officer of 100. Officer of 100.
You thought, brother, you were
Yeah,
the man.
you can give orders. Look, brother, go to the store for me. You know you were a made guy.
You were like a big guy.
Now each test got harder. You had to at some point now. Some generals will say, "Well, look, brother," but you might say, "I want to join your camp." Certain generals, I believe, Elder Tahar was the same way.
Our own test.
Yeah,
was harder than the Maid 3 test.
That's right. But I'm saying, as far as joining the camp, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, if you wanted to join Elder Tahar's camp, you had to have a rank to even join the camp. You had to at least be a soldier.
You had to pass. No. You had to pass all three
All
tests.
three to join the camp.
Okay.
Because Elder Tahar's camp was the top camp in the nation because that was the main camp that the top 7, Ariyah, Mo, Shia, Lahab, they used to speak at Elder Tahar, which was on 44th and Broadway, where Zabak and them speak. That was the main camp. So that was a high level camp. So to be in the 44th camp, you had to have a rank, man. You had to be an officer. You had to have a rank. You couldn't even be in that camp. Certain other camp leaders, it's heavy. Myself, I joined the daggone camp. I didn't even have a rank because the Kazakh brought me in the camp. But then that following week, I went and took the test, man. But you had to at least be a soldier to be in that camp. They say, look, brother, you got to at least be a soldier. You had to at least be a soldier to be in the camps. You couldn't just be a member and be in the camp. Now, at the soldier's test, that was it. That was a part. What you gave them in the soldier's test, you had to break down the 12 tribes. You had to say it, write it down in the Hebrew and what they meant. All 12 tribes, right? That was.
Well, there's one test you had to break down the 12 tribes, and then you had to break down broken down was the 18 nations.
That was on the soldier's test.
Yep.
Or was that on the 50s
The ancient
test?
Assyrian, the Hebrew, and all that.
All that was on the soldier's test.
So this guy, like I said, man, Isaiah, when you was in the camp, you were a good reader. I'll give you that. And you knew a lot of scriptures. You memorized. You were quick on them scriptures, man. But I thought you knew the Hebrew, man, but you didn't know the Hebrew. Now, what you could have did was humble down and said, look, I'm really not in the Hebrew. Then we would have said, okay, look, brother, have this brother kind of show, this brother going to show you the Hebrew and the Greek and all that, man. And plus, there's no excuse because you were putting up videos, man.
Yeah, man.
I put up a couple of videos on the Hebrew, went through some words, basic words, but you went deep into it. And some of y'all even went into the Hebrew. I'm talking about from GMS Dallas, man. And other states had went into the Hebrew and the Greek, man. Oh, Monaghan, I'm going to say this. He's really the top Hebrew guy in GMS,
He's
man.
He's a new Shalimar.
He's a Shalimar, and I told him that. I said, basically, you another Shalimar, you know? Yeah. I mean, he'll go into that. He knows Hebrew better than me. He knows Hebrew better than you, even though you're good at it now. If I got back into it, I'll get my game up on the Hebrew, but I know some basic Hebrew.
Yeah.
And I can read it. I can go into the Torah, and if I read it for like a good week, I'll get right back on that higher level, man. Just like riding a bike, man. You never forget that Hebrew is in me, man.
Now guys, back Elder talk. Now, Elder Gabar was always real good in the Hebrew because he used to work with Shalimar and Reinbond. Which they were real good at.
He got a little rusty.
Yeah, he got a little rusty.
He's still a little, because I told him to hit certain words, he gets a little rusty.
Yeah.
But you still got it, brother.
Yeah, he still got it.
So you got to get your game up. I got to get my game up.
Too.
Okay?
But I was like I said myself, I was in Yashawan in them camp. I ain't know shit. Now, Yashawan was supposed to be this great general. I didn't come up on no level. I didn't learn nothing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Yashawan knew the scriptures. He was able to call 8 scriptures at a time
Yeah.
and break them down, and he can pose when he's hitting. One time the nigga came in with a Batman cowl, man. Oh yeah. If I can find that video, because it was all about him.
Yeah.
It was all about him.
Yeah.
He used to have the big afro.
With the
Then he
mask.
had the bat. He had made a Batman cowl, man.
Yep.
It was a mask, and all you saw was some black nigga with a mask with a big afro.
Yeah, it was
Because it was
crazy.
all about him. It was
crazy.
basically the Yashawan show, man.
Yeah.
And I saw it in certain videos. He had that smile, like
Yeah.
yeah, this is my camp. I saw it, man.
But he wasn't teaching. He didn't know how to raise up men. He didn't know how to raise up men, man.
Well, he was good at that military stuff. You
Yeah.
know, the captain on deck,
Yep.
Yashawan on deck.
Yeah.
Which Nate got that from? Probably got that from Yashawan.
Yeah.
He is elder on deck. And by the way, Nate, the term elder. Before that, you were calling yourself brother, along with this guy Barack Shaw. Then you were cursing us out because they said, Barack Shaw, you got these guys calling themselves the great elders. And when you said that, we wouldn't call ourselves elders. It was all these other people that were watching us that called us elders, man.
That's
and then
right.
because back in the old school, we were either priests or high priests.
That's right.
Or generals.
Yep.
There was nobody called nobody an elder.
That's right.
So that was a whole new thing.
That's right.
So now, all of a sudden, Nate is an elder now. Why? Because he's jealous of us.
That's right.
That's
right.
why he calls us out.
Yeah.
If we call ourselves the oracles,
Hypocrite.
he'll start calling himself the oracles.
Yeah.
Hey, you calling yourself the oracles? That's ridiculous. Then after about 2 months, he'll call himself Oracle on deck.
Yeah, Nate, you a hypocrite. Hey, man, but the point I want to make real quick, and we get back in the scriptures, when I was in Yashawan's camp, I wasn't on no level. I was I knew the basics, but I was at least able to pass the soldier's test. That was the one thing Yashawan said. That, look, you got to take the test, brother. You got to take that test. When you going to take that test?
You got to do it with the napkin in your hand.
Yeah, right.
Till somebody give you a napkin.
Yeah,
Take that test.
That's the only thing. That was the
Hey,
only
you
thing.
gotta take that test, brother.
that
Take
test.
that test,
With the
brother.
winking eye.
With the blinking eye. Take that test,
That was the
brother.
only thing. That was the only leadership thing he ever, as far as trying to work. No, but he didn't say, "Look, brother, I get it better to work with you." He said, "Look, when you're going to shy, when you're going to take that test, man, take that test. You got to take that test." Hey, but then through the Spirit of the Lord was with me. I knuckled down.
Well, he should take that test.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
should take that
yeah,
AIDS
yeah,
test,
yeah.
man. Because he looks like an AIDS victim.
Yeah,
Just go
man.
ahead and take that test.
But I was in Yashawan's camp. I managed. The Spirit of the Lord was with me. I was able to pass the test. Right, I passed it, and then he put me out. He kicked my ass out the camp. Said, "Report back to the school because you ain't on the level. You ain't ready for the camp." And I did that. And I got with Robert Jones, this other joker. Yeah.
Y'all would have loved that, brother. Y'all would have loved it, man. He was a funny brother,
But
man.
the Spirit of the Lord, Robert Jones was more of a leader than you, because he got with me. Look, brother, we got to get together and study, because Yashawan had kicked him out the camp too. Hey, look, brother, we got to get together. And so when we were boys anyway, so me and him got back studying, and we was going to the classes, and then we ended up joining the Spirit of the where we joined Elder Tahar's camp. And then the Spirit paired me, myself, and Elder Gabar up.
Yeah, that was the nigga that used to pop off. He
Yeah.
had a Uzi and shit. He used to go up on the roof and pop it off.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
when Brooklyn was real
Hey,
wild,
Robert
man.
Jones.
And
Hey, well, I
yeah,
was guilty of it. Because I was with him. Hey, but the dude, I got the Spirit paired up myself and Elder Gabar up with Elder Tahar. And when I got with Elder Tahar, that's when I started coming up on a level and really learning shit. And then I was never good in the Hebrew prior to that, but then it got to a point where I got into the Hebrew. I used to be I got to tighten up my game. If I start reading the Torah and studying, then I can start spitting on the Hebrew too. But I brought this up to say this: we used to work on the oil tables. Elder Gabar remembers this, and we were working with Elder Tahar on the oil tables. So the three of us would be together. We spent a lot of time around in the van, and we got to a point where we were speaking to each other in Hebrew, because Elder Tahar would test us, and we would speak to each other in the Hebrew, man. Whole sentences, man. You know what I mean? So we had got deep into the Hebrew at one point. You remember that? Yeah. We was on the oil tables.
We're writing prayers in Hebrew. Yeah, at the school in Connecticut, we were writing prayers in Hebrew. Yeah, so it's a spiritual thing, and we don't do it to boast, We don't. Huh?
You're
Yeah, we're just telling the truth, man. But I got a scripture. This is 1 Corinthians 3 and 13. Now, this pertains to Isaiah. And it says, every man's work shall be made manifest. And not just Isaiah, all of us, okay? All of us, brothers. Because we're all the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, every man's work shall be made manifest. For the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. Now, Isaiah's fire was that test. All right? That was the
Yeah, pull it down. Pull it down.
the test was to prove him, to see if he was what he was made of. All right? It says, for the day shall declare it, because it shall, and that's why you can't hide. You know, most people hide in the night. But the scriptures say the day, which the knowledge is the day. And when the day comes, you can't hide. All right? It says, the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. So when the fire came in the form of those tests, Isaiah was tried and he failed. Basically, he was a piece of wood. And you know what fire does to wood.
Yeah, ultimately the fire is talking about the nuclear missiles.
Khan.
Them nuclear bombs, as
nuclear
Yagar
bombs.
would say.
Khan.
But I said it to you, and I believe I said it to you. I said I'm gonna start instituting those tests.
Yep.
And I said he's gonna weed out certain people.
Which that's the fire.
And that's exactly what it did.
Yep.
Them tests weeded out certain guys, man.
Now you know.
No,
what?
he would have probably passed the test because he was into that stuff. He just failed the ultimate test. He's just a weak ass Hamite, you know.
Now you know what's heavy. Now, like Elder Tar said, which ultimately is the nuclear missiles. But what's heavy is fire can do two things. It can purify you, but then it can take your ass out. So now the test, right, is like fire. If you take the test, it purifies you. You get that much more wiser. But if you're not right, it burns you up. You get burnt up, and that's
Some guys, a handful of guys, failed the test too.
That's right.
And they pretty much got cursed out.
And
they still here.
Yep.
They still here though. They still fighting in the fight.
That's right.
You just embarrassed, man.
You were a piece of wood, Isaiah.
You were nothing but a piece of. You look like a piece of wood, man.
He
you actually
does.
look like, what's this guy? Pinocchio. What's his father's?
Geppetto.
Geppetto.
Yeah, Geppetto.
You look like Geppetto's
Yeah.
son, man.
Yeah.
You know, carved you out of a piece of wood, man.
I got the scripture right here. 1 Corinthians 3 and 12. It says, now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble. All right. Then as you read on, it says, every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. So when Elder Tar instituted those tests, that was the fire, man. The fire.
That's why he hates me so much, because of them tests.
Yeah.
He said it was the heart that instituted those tests.
That's right. Elder Tar brought the fire. And it says, and the fire shall try, test. What's another word for try?
Well, click it. Click on the word, and I guarantee you it's going to say test.
I guarantee.
Try.
I guarantee. So we're supposed to be tested. And that's what you want. You want to be tested every minute, man, because that makes you stronger. Hey, what don't kill you?
Hey, well, one thing that's beautiful about Baloo and them making them videos,
Yeah,
that keeps you sharp.
that
man.
keeps us sharp.
'Cause they'll ask you like an off the wall question, and you
Yep.
kind of meditate on it. Then
Yep.
I got the answer, and then you know they fucker. Then they ask you another question,
That's right.
and you answer it.
That's
you know?
right. Hey, Elder, you were right. Hey, the Greek word is dokimazo for try. Dokimazo. And it says to test, examine. You think the Most High ain't going to examine his goods? You think you're going to sell the Most High a bill of goods and he ain't going to check it out? We're the bill of goods. You know, to test, examine, prove, scrutinize, to see whether a thing is genuine or not. Oh my good, come on, man. As metals. Yeah, that's it.
And that'll be the last one because we're getting out of here.
Okay. This is Hebrew chapter 4, verse 11. It says, let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. See, that's what happened. He got exposed through the word. Through the test. It says, neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and opened unto the eyes of him which whom we have to do. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed unto the heavens, Yahushua the Son of the Most High, let us hold fast our profession. Okay? Hold fast to it, not bitch up and say, well, you mean to tell me we have to go outside? All right. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Yahushua never went off, man. That's how he became that perfect sacrifice for us to be adopted back into this thing, right? Verse 16, it says, let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. So that's why the elders coming hard through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're going to come boldly, right? With that assurance, with that confidence, because we trust that this is the truth. We have confidence and faith that this is what was supposed to be known, and that's what we're supposed to go out there and preach. Okay.
And we almost out of here, man. And that's why, hey, who said that? Was it Richard Pryor that said that? He said, "Don't lighten up, tighten up." Well, I'm telling you that, and we all telling you that out there. Don't lighten up, tighten up, man. We in the home stretch, okay? We at the end of this thing. Now you can say, there you go with the end of it. Like you don't want the end. Well, you don't want the end to come, man. I want the end to come, man. I wanted the end to come back in 1985, man. When I came in 1985, I was looking to get out of here in 1986. Okay? And every year after that. Now, you're supposed to have that spirit because the perfect example is the apostles. When you go to Acts, the first chapter, what did they say when the Lord came amongst them? Matter of fact, go to it, man, and we're going to close on that.
Acts chapter 1, verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
In other words, are you going to set the kingdom up now? They didn't say, well, Lord, whenever you want to come, I don't care. Whenever you feel like, whenever you get ready, you can come. We'll just wait for you. We'll get our ass kicked by the Romans for the time being, but whenever I'm not in no hurry to get out of here now. I ain't rushing you, Lord. No, they calling them, Lord, you gonna set up the kingdom now? Yeah. And that was 2,000 years ago, man. Yeah. Here it is 2,000 years in the future, and you're supposed to be, well, it says in the Baruch, in the Apocrypha. Yeah. It says what? Seek him 10 times more. So you're supposed to be on fire. We've been up here. I'm looking at the clock. We were supposed to close this thing at 5:30. Here it is. We went an hour over. And we're going right down, and I can't wait to get down at the main camp and putting that fire out there on 34th and 7th. That's right. And all you other camps out there, GMS camps, you going out there putting out that fire. I'm putting the fire out of your mouth, the Most High's fire. So I'm going to say this. Keep doing what you're doing and be even more. If you're diligent, become even more diligent, man. This is your first priority, man. This is what you're supposed to live for, because the Most High is bringing judgment, man. The Most High is using this guy, Putin. It was yesterday morning where he defiantly went into Crimea or went into the Ukraine to declare that we took over Crimea. And he's like saying, fuck what Barack Obama got to say. We ain't thinking about that dude, you know? Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. Shalom.